What happens when a young lion crosses the one line the king will never forgive? This subadult male lion is fighting for his life. Blood is running from the corner of his mouth, his breathing is heavy, and every movement seems to cause unbearable pain. But the real question is, how did a young lion end up in this condition while still inside his own pride's territory? It all began when the pride's dominant male returned from patrolling his kingdom. He walked across the golden grassland with the confidence of a true ruler. As he approached the pride, most of the lions came forward to greet him. For a moment, everything seemed peaceful. Then the king noticed something unusual. A young male lion was standing extremely close to one of his lionesses. At first, the king didn't react. Maybe he thought the young male was simply being playful or curious. The lioness even approached the king afterward, rubbing against him as if to reassure him that nothing was wrong. But the situation changed later that day. When the lioness went to the river for a drink, the same young male followed her. He moved closer, and this time, the king was watching. His eyes immediately became cold and focused. The young male had crossed a dangerous boundary. Without warning, the king charged. The attack was sudden and violent. The young lion tried to fight back, but he was completely outmatched by the dominant male. The other members of the pride stayed back. Nobody dared to interfere, because in a lion pride, challenging the dominant male can have deadly consequences. By the following morning, the young lion was lying beneath a tree. He was barely conscious. Blood covered his mouth. His body was badly injured, and every breath came with visible pain. Yet he was still alive. The king had stopped short of killing him, and perhaps there was a reason for that. The young lion was his own son, but being spared did not mean being forgiven. The young male now understood that he could no longer remain in the pride. He had challenged the authority of the king and crossed a boundary that the pride could not simply ignore. Then night fell. Dark clouds covered the sky, lightning flashed across the savannah, and heavy rain began pouring down. Slowly, the injured lion forced himself to stand. His legs trembled. Every step sent pain through his body, but he kept walking, one step then another, leaving behind the only home he had ever known. The lions he had grown up beside remained behind, silently watching him disappear into the storm. No one followed him. No one could change what had happened. The young lion had no idea where he was going or whether he would survive the night. He only knew that there was no way back. Cold rain poured over his battered body as he disappeared deeper into the darkness. His breathing became weaker. His steps became slower, until finally, his exhausted body collapsed onto the wet ground. In the wild, one reckless decision can change everything. For this young lion, a moment of poor judgment cost him his place in the pride, his family, and possibly his life.